All you need is a funnel. You have a funnel, you're gonna make tons of money. Funnels, 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 funnels. That's how you make money in 2021. Let me break it down to you. Funnels are stupid, and the fallacy of funnels is ruining your business and the businesses of hundreds of entrepreneurs. And funnels are the reason your marketing is struggling. The idea of funnels has been ruining marketers and advertisers because it creates one, unrealistic expectations, and two, it also doesn't help marketers identify where the problem is in acquiring new customers and where to fix it. First things first, you have the software side of funnels, right? Instead of having a website with a menu and having all the different navigations where you have to go all the different places to find the information, everything was brought down and condensed into one page and one essentially path that a potential new customer can take to buy a product. So this concept of a funnel, right? You have your top of funnel, you have your middle of funnel, and your bottom of funnel. This is how a lot of marketers label this. This is where this top funnel is the customers in the awareness stage. The middle of funnel is where customers have experienced a little bit with your brand, and the bottom of the funnel are this is the red hot, ready to buy people. And there's this idea that all you have to do is like send traffic to this funnel, and it's just gonna print out money. And it's just not the case. And there's actually a much easier way and deeper way to understand how to get new customers who have never heard of you before, that make it a lot easier to find and identify where problems are. Hey guys, I just want to pause the video real quick and just thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date on all the crazy marketing changes and iOS 14 updates and all of the different things out there, make sure you hit subscribe and turn your notifications on. Also, I wanted to let you know, I've got 2 different books that you can get. This one, Becoming a Digital Baller, the Playbook. This teaches a lot of the fundamentals that are really important when it comes to understanding what all the pieces fit together. Email marketing, SEO, advertising, organic social media, websites, all of that stuff. Great for brand new marketers, people just getting in. This one, Advertise Like a Digital Baller, is all about advertising, what KPIs to look at, ad copy, and all of that, how to pretty much everything you really need to know to get started or just level up your advertising. Both of them are available on Amazon, or you can go to the website and get a special deal for the digital copies right now. If you want experts to come look at your ads manager, look at your data to find what problem you're running into of why sales aren't happening at a price point you want, cost per purchase you want, growth that you want, go ahead and schedule a free consultation with one of my team members, and we will jump on the call and look at the data, look at everything for you to help you identify what problems you're running into and how we can fix them for you. Now, back to the video. There's a better way to look at acquiring new customers than this process that will allow you to find and identify where problems are so you can fix them. Because in marketing, 80 to 90% of what you do is looking at data, finding a problem, and fixing it. So although this works for some people and can still work for some people, it is outdated and there's a better way that you're gonna learn today. I call it the customer's journey. So in the customer's journey, this is the concept, is you're trying to get someone at the top of the mountain to buy a product, but they're all the way down here. There's this journey, there's a path, and this is where they need to go in order to get to the top of the mountain, to buy the product. But here's the issue. Every customer on this journey comes across forks in the road. Opportunities to veer off the path. The job of the marketer is to identify where the forks in the road are and how to fix it, how to help people get past that fork and keep moving on the path towards buying. Now compare this to the idea of the funnel where you're building this and trying to force people down this path, trying to force them and manipulate and try, tactics and strategies that can become scammy and borderline unethical, right? Countdown timers, limited stock of products, double opt-ins, and not all that stuff. Clickbait. Those are things we want to avoid because customers in 2021 don't want to be sold things. What they want is solutions to their problems. They don't want to feel like they're being sold to. And our job as marketers is to say, hey guys, hey, I have a product that solves this problem. Who has that problem? And the people that have that problem will come. So I want to break down some of these spots in the path that people can veer off, right? So the starting point is they've never heard of you before. And let's use Facebook ads and e-commerce. That's going to be the example we use today, okay? So this person is scrolling on Facebook, Instagram. They see our ad right here. Now they already have, as soon as they see an ad, a decision has to be made. Do they keep reading your ad? Do they watch your video? Do they look at it? Or do they keep scrolling? That's the first fork in the road. And if you can see that people, according to the data, are not even watching this, they're not even looking at your posts or anything like that, that's where you know you need to come and fix this. Get better hooks for your ads. Try and identify the problem that your product solves quicker in the ad copy. There's a lot of different things that you can do to try and fix this. But that's the very first fork in the road, and that's where you can lose people. So if you're losing people there, that's where you go and spend your attention, your time to fix that issue. Let's say they decide to keep reading and they read the whole ad. They watch the whole video. They then have to decide if they're going to click on your ad to go to your website. That is a decision. If people aren't clicking on your ads, maybe you need to get better call to actions. Maybe you need to do discounts or deals or promotions to incentivize them, right? That is the next fork in the road that you then have to come in and fix. Then let's say they click on the ad, they're like, sweet, awesome. They come here and they come to the website and then they just bounce. They just peace out. In Google Analytics, there's a KPI that you can look at called the bounce rate. This is the percentage of people who come to the website and don't do anything. They don't scroll, they just come, they see the first section of the website and they're like, well, I'm out. If you have a high bounce rate, you can see that in the data and then you know that they're getting off on this fork in the road. They're veering off here. That's where you go and fix it. Start changing your headlines on your website. Change the picture. Make sure it's loading quickly. There's a dozen things you can do. But now you know where the problem is and you go in and fix it. Then you see how long they... So then the next section would be if they add something to their cart, right? This is an e-commerce brand. They can't go to the checkout without adding something to their cart. So if people aren't adding things to their cart, it means you're not doing a good enough job selling them. You've gotten their attention. You know they have the problem. They've stuck around a little bit, right? But they haven't added to their cart. And so there's something holding up. So that's when you're identifying where you're in your funnel, your website, or the sales page, the issue is. Because you see, this is where a lot of business owners struggle. They think their advertising is not working because they're not getting sales. They're getting people to go through this customer's journey all the way to here, but people are veering off on the website, but they're blaming the ads. The ads aren't working. I don't know why. I've had dozens and dozens of conversations with business owners who are like, my ads aren't working, and I go and look at their website. I'm like, well, here's 5 things to change in your website. They change it, and all of a sudden they're getting sales. Because the problem wasn't here, it was here. And it's identifying. You see, when you're building a funnel and everything, people aren't looking at that. They think, I've got my funnel, and so I'm good to go. It must be the ads. And as a marketer, again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Our job is to identify where the hole in our marketing is. Where are people veering off the path, and go and fix it. So again, just going down with the same example, let's say we fix it, they're adding things to their cart, but then they're abandoning the journey at the checkout of the website. So what are some things you can do? Well, let's see if maybe you shouldn't be charging shipping because Amazon gives free 2-day shipping. So to be competitive, maybe you have to raise your price a little bit, but offer free shipping. Maybe there's some technical issues. Maybe the user experience on the mobile phone isn't very great, but the experience on the desktop is. But if you're losing people at this fork in the road, Those are some things you can go look at. Make sure the user experience is great with the checkout. What about the shipping options? Are people getting charged a ton for taxes? What's the issue? There could be a dozen, but at least you know where to look to find it. And then just hitting that submit button, right? That's the final journey, right? Actually making a purchase. For an e-commerce business, that's the example, like that's the path. And you can even get more in depth, right? Like how far do people scroll on the sales page? How many times do people leave and come back to the sales page? And that's what I love about the customer journey and understanding and using this example is it can get so deep and it actually helps you identify where the actual problem is. So I want to just kind of give you an example, a story of how I've used the customer journey to help turn businesses around that were struggling to get sales. I had a business owner come to me and he's like, I've spent $2.5 grand on ads and I've made 25 sales. I was like, okay, well, how expensive is your product? He's like, it's 40 bucks. I was like, $250 cost to acquire a new customer only to make 40 bucks. Yeah, that's not good. He's like, yeah, can you take a look at what I'm doing? So I took a look at where people are falling off on the customer journey. And what I found was he was taking his Facebook ads and he was setting the goal for traffic. So he was telling Facebook, I only want to get people to this part. So Facebook was getting tons of people to this part of the path, but he really wanted people to come up all the way to the top. So Facebook was actually doing a great job of getting people to this part in the path, which is to get them to click on the ad. But after that, Facebook wasn't doing anything. And so we were losing all of these potential customers here, because Facebook's job was just to get them here. So right away, we just took the existing ads, the same audiences, everything, and just changed the goals of the ads. With what we optimized for was for purchases. And right away, within the first month, we spent another $2,500 on ads, and we got over 250 sales, which was great. We were now getting a much better cost per purchase. We were getting a $25 cost per purchase instead of a $250 cost per purchase. So we were doing a little under a 2, which again, in the first month, we were pumped. He was excited, but we still wanted better results. So we started looking at the customer journey where people were now veering off the path, which was around here. People adding things to their cart and initiating the checkout. So we started looking at the website. We found, oh, well, we could make some bundles of products, right? Instead of just buying one bottle of the product, you could buy 2 or 3 all at once and save a little bit of money. Also, we changed the price point of the product, and instead of being at the very top of the page, we shifted it to the very bottom, so people had to go through our sales copy before they bought. So I redesigned a whole new web page and spent another $2,500 in ads, but we got over 500 sales with the same ads that he was running at the very beginning when he only got 25 sales. And so we were able to take it from a $250 cost per purchase to a $10 cost per purchase because we realized where the problems were on the customer journey, where people were veering off the path, right? That's why this idea is so much more important than a funnel or the idea of the funnels, because again, we need to identify where problems are and go and fix them. Another story. A client came to me. They had been spending money on ads, and they were getting maybe a 1.5 to 2 ROAS, so a little bit better of a start. They were selling women's clothing, and I took a look at their ads manager, everything again, and just wanted to identify where in the journey they were having problems. Well, so the problem was they had really bad targeting. They weren't targeting good audiences. And the person who was running their ads before was like a college student who just wanted some experience, so bless their heart. But the problem was we just needed to fix that because people, they had a good, the conversion rates on the website were actually great. We just weren't getting enough people to the website. So we made some changes to the ads, and right away it went from a 1.5 ROAS to an 8 ROAS. So for every $1 we spent on ads, we were making $8 in revenue, which was phenomenal. And it changed within a week of launching the new ads. We didn't have to change anything up here. We just had to make the changes down here. But what was incredible was even after it launched, it was going really well, all of the sudden, overnight, our return on investment went from an 8 to a 5. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And so I, again, looked at the data in the mindset of this customer journey, and I was able to identify that they made some changes here. They had a first-time buyer 10% off coupon code at the top of the website. And somebody had messaged them and said, hey, that looks pretty tacky. You should take it off. And they did. And I instantly saw and was able to find where the change happened. And I was like, guys, who cares what they said? It's working. Put it back on. And they did. And it instantly shot back up to an 8. Because I knew where the problem was. I didn't panic and like, well, I got to start changing ads because the ROAS is dropping. I need to find new audiences. Maybe we need new content. I was able to find the problem in like 10 minutes because I knew, looking at the data and understanding the customer journey, where to identify the problem. As a marketer, as an entrepreneur, your job is to fix the problems in the business, to fix the problems in the customer journey. But if you don't know where the problem is, it makes it really difficult to fix it. And that's where I've seen so many business owners struggle, is they think the problem's down here on the customer journey when it's really up here. Or a lot of business owners have problems here, here, and here. And that's the power of understanding the customer journey, is you can then identify it. Stop focusing on funnels that make it almost impossible to identify where the problem is, and then impossible to fix it, and start focusing on the customer journey. Hey, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like. And if you have any questions about digital marketing or advertising, make sure you leave a comment below and we can answer it in upcoming videos. I'll see you next time.